Hello, today we will be speaking about Cambridge AS level music. So for AS level, schools usually have the courses run for about 18 months or 24 months. So depending on your school or center that you're writing at, you will have gone through the syllabus for a year and a half or 2 years before writing the exam and submitting the required coursework. AS level consists out of two components. The first component is a paper 1, which is a 2-hour listening paper that will be 100 marks. So in the paper, there are 3 sections. You will have compositional techniques and performance practice. You will have understanding music, and you will have connecting music. So the paper consists out of 3 sections. Section A, compositional techniques and performance practice. This will mainly look into Baroque music, and you will have some unheard examples there. In section B, we have an essay about understanding music. And this all has to do with the set works allocated to you for the year. Then we have section C, connecting music. And this is yet another essay, but this allows you to draw on all of your musical knowledge that you have learned and understood thus far. Component 2 consists of your practical music. And this will be yet again internally assessed and externally moderated, as with the IGCSE levels. So the school or center through which you're working with will employ or appoint examiners at the center that will give you your marks. It will just be externally moderated by Cambridge. So there are 2 main compulsory elements in this component. Element 1 being your practical performances, and here you're expected to have a 6 to 10 minute recorded performance, as well as 2 contrasting compositions that you will need to write and also have performed and recorded. These each need to be 1 to 2 minutes each. And then if you would like to move onto your A levels later on, this practical component 2, will basically count 20% towards that mark. AS on its own, this mark will be 40% of your AS level. In terms of percentages, your paper 1 will count 60% of your AS level, and then your component 2, being the practical music, will count 40% of your AS level. If you are thinking you're going on to A level a bit later on, this very component 2 will just be counting 20% towards your A level mark. And then the listening paper will count 30% towards the A level mark. In the listening paper, we have a few set work options. In section A for 2024, the 2 Baroque works that we will be listening to will be Bach's Violin Concerto in A minor, as well as Handel's Water Music. So this is the suite in F major. It's only movements 1, 2, 5, and 8. Section B focuses on a theme every year, and in 2023 as well as 2024, that theme happens to be myths and legends. So we're looking into 3 big set works there. We're looking at the Peer Gynt suite. We are looking at the Scheherazade, which is the symphonic suite for orchestra. And we are looking at La Cathédrale, or the Sunken Cathedral. Regarding the AS level practical music component, a video recording will be made of your instrument performance. So unlike IGCSE level where it's only audio recordings, here you will be asked to do a video recording. So do be sure to set up your recordings either there in a well-cleaned music room or maybe in your formal school hall, anything like that. There are no restrictions against you having an audience, so Cambridge definitely allows you to have this in a concert setup if that's what you would like to do. But also what I do find is very helpful is to have the recordings done separately from a concert environment. And yes, maybe your parents come and watch you, maybe invite some friends. That's all good and well, as long as they're not making noise in the background. But I do find that to record it as if it is a concert, or to make it a concert, just adds a different level of pressure. And I think it is good just to record it in a different setting. So with your element 1, you have to have a selection of contrasting music presented in a performance of 6 to 10 minutes, as I've said before. You are allowed to have solo works and ensemble works. It's not a must now. You're able to choose. Then the program should be carefully timed in order to showcase a wide variety of skills on your instrument and also contrasting repertoire. So whether you play 2 single movements of a work or whether you play 2 full works, as long as it is at least 2 contrasting pieces and doesn't go beyond 10 minutes, you're good to go. For element 2 composing, you need 2 contrasting compositions. So they'll be about 1 to 2 minutes each in length. So the total time should be 2 to 4 minutes. The specific time frame is a crucial consideration as it forms part of the judgment required here. So, for example, a long, slow-moving piece might have less compositional substance than a shorter, quicker paced piece. So don't just try to aim for, oh, I need to get a full minute of something out there and then just make it really slow, but it doesn't really have any substance. Then you also really need systematic documentation here. So you must develop a system of documenting the listening that has informed or inspired your work. So information that you can gather could include details of listening, so what type of composers you've listened to, titles of pieces you've listened to, performers, artists, type of recordings, type of clips, whether it be if you've listened to stuff on Spotify or on YouTube, anything like that. Then what was interesting about the music that you listened to? How did it inspire you? Use a checklist of musical features. This is all background and groundwork work for yourself. It's not necessarily something you're going to hand into Cambridge, but it's just something that will really inform what you're doing in your compositions. Please note, just as with IGCSE level, you as the candidate do not need to perform the composition yourself, but it is helpful to get someone who is able to perform and play on these instruments. With the composition element, it's not a video recording, it's more about how it sounds and is it feasible on the instruments that you're writing for. So it will be audio recordings here, and you are allowed to send in a track that you create and maybe download from one of the music compositional programs like Finale, Sibelius, MuseScore, but it is quite nice to have a live performance of it and send in an audio recording of that. But as always, please do remember to consult the current syllabus as well as your teacher for further detailed requirements.